Welcome to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo, Dr. Shirley and medium Kellee White. Two perspectives, one world. This is Both Sides Now.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Both Sides Now TV. I am spiritual medium Kellee White, and I'm here with our producer, John Williams. Hi,
Hey,
John.
Kel. Hey, Kel.
John, you can't see John because, well, you can see his little picture here.
Yeah. Until, the crazy thing is with all of this going on right now, the webcams are so in demand right now, and people are price gouging them because, they're just so few and far between right now. So,
I
yeah.
know. I know.
So hopefully I'll get one very soon
That's-
and be on camera with y'all soon. Yeah.
It's been quite a time, hasn't it?
Oh,
I
it
know we
has.
start off every show with it's been quite a time, but I have to
Right.
tell you, I had this strangest thing happen a couple of days ago. For people that don't know, I moved from Beverly Hills, California, to a small town in Wisconsin, and I live on a farm now, which is really kind of odd if you think about it. So I'm not used to the weather patterns and at all. So
Mhm.
on Tuesday, it was a beautiful day, and I was swinging on my swing out in front, and I was making a toast to my mother who had passed away 2 years ago on that very day, 2 days ago.
Mm.
And I'm making a toast and just thinking about my mother and how that she would have never been able to make this with the virus. If she couldn't have her hair and nails done, it would have killed her. So I was kind of laughing and kind of having to talk with her, and all of a sudden, I just see this huge storm come in, and we had hail the size of golf balls, and it lasted for about, I don't know, an hour, 45 minutes.
Wow.
And it was so intense that I ran into the house, got my dog into the house, and we had to batten down the hatches because we had windows open because it was such a beautiful day. And oh, it was unbelievable. I had never seen anything like this before. So I said, like, what's next? Locusts? And I don't even want to know after that.
Right. I don't
Such
blame you.
such a time. Anyway, I thought what I would do is just touch a little bit about the astrology because I always like to do an astrological report. And on every show, I always do. And today, I'm just going to follow up with this full moon that we had the other day. It was a pink full moon, and it's a very intense. It's in Libra, but the bottom line for this one is it can bring confrontational energies. Okay, but it's going to bring things to the surface. I've seen this with a lot of my clients in the last 2 days. A lot of their things are coming to the surface, and it's not for the sake of having conflict, but when things come to the surface, this particular full moon is about finding solutions and to fix what needs fixing. So it's an important time. And on Monday, we'll go into the next big astrological event, which comes up, I think, on the 13th. So there's some major events along the way. And for me to just give them all out at once, it's too overwhelming. I mean, we have enough going on with everything. But one of the times right now that I do want to talk about that's really, really important is the time that we're in. Today is Passover, and we have Easter coming up on Sunday. This is really a time for renewal. And frankly, that's what this full moon will bring in. It'll bring in renewal. And you think, how is that we're going to have renewal during this very difficult time with this virus? Well, no matter what's going on, and that means no matter what's going on in this universe, in this world, in this dimension, it's important to know that your soul came in to renew. And this is about a renewal time. So even though we're having a difficult period of time here, very most difficult probably in the history of this planet,
Mhm.
I mean, that I could think of, even though it's still, everybody has to go in and do their own work. Okay, you have to have faith and hope. That is really what Passover and Easter is about, faith and hope. So don't forget that. So today, my spirit guides, I asked them, I have two, to tell me a page number. I do that instead of just opening it up. I just listen for a page, and they gave me page 54, which is a 9. But this is what they said, and this is what I'm going to read to you from The Quiet Mind by White Eagle. Sayings of White Eagle. It's my favorite book, and it it says, accept the task. Each one of you has been called. Every individual soul has work to do. None can do the work of another. Each must do his or her own work. Therefore, we say, accept it, my child. Accept the task laid before you and pray to the Great Spirit that you may not fail. And that's what I find myself doing every day. It's praying to the Great White Spirit or God or Jesus or the universe or spirit or the Great White Brotherhood, whatever you want to call it, for renewal, for help, to help me go on. And so there you go. The next thing I want to bring up today is that, and I'm going to post this on this, I think on both sides now, or maybe I'm not sure, John, you'll have to tell me where to post this one. But Tom Campbell did a video, and it's really great. He's a philosopher, he's a spiritualist, and he's a scientist. And he did a show the other day on YouTube. It was really phenomenal. And one of the things that he says, among many that were just brilliant, is he talks about this dimension as an elementary school, and quite accurate. And then he says the following: the universe will always prevent, oh, that's funny. That was a Freudian slip. The universe will always present us with opportunities to grow up. And that's where we are now. So this goes back to the soul and renewal. It's time to grow up. It's time to get our soul aligned with why we incarnated. Just remember that. So having said that, John, let's get into the chakras, shall we?
We shall, yes.
So last Thursday we did, so these are all the chakras. I'll have them lined up for you. I'll line them up. I love these. I only reuse these straws. I've never bought new straws. I only reuse these straws over and over and over and over again. And I will never buy plastic straws again. So I've had these, they're vintage. Anyway, these are the different chakras. Last week we did the root chakra and the second chakra, the sacral chakra. And let me just mention to you what these two represent for chakras. The first chakra is the root chakra. And the reason it's so important during the pandemic is what we discussed is the root chakra is about life force and survival. Survival is everything, right? So everybody's root chakra might be, if they're not grounded, might be way off. Okay. And to strengthen that, I said, wear a little bit of red, breathe, do child's pose in yoga. That's a really good one where you stretch, you're sitting down, you're lying down, and you have your arms in front of you, and you take a deep breath, and then you release that. You can do that with the warrior pose too. Walk outside with your shoes off. That's a really good one. And visualize your roots of a tree. Visualize that. And the second chakra, and that's connected, I should say, the root chakra is connected to the emotional subtle body. So chakras, I'm getting ahead of myself. Chakras are energy points along your spine. They're vortexes of energy that we all have. Some are weakened, some are strong. The whole key is to be in balance. This is what you want to be. You want to be in balance when you're talking of chakras. So having said that, they all are attached to a subtle body. Subtle bodies are energies that go out from our physical body. They go out, they start about a quarter of inch out, and then they go out and out and out by a few feet, actually.
So they make up our aura then, Kel?
They make up the aura.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, John. They make up your aura. Yes. And so the second chakra that we talked about last week is about emotional maturity or emotional immaturity. So in its anger, it's frustration, it's sexual guilt, if it's out of balance, you've got some extremes. And it's connected to the emotional body. The emotional body is where a lot of past life events are stored. So why would you bring that into your life now? You'd bring it into your life now, in this life, to resolve the traumas. So those are the first two chakras. Today, we're going to be talking about two more chakras. The solar plexus chakra. I like the visuals here. And the heart chakra. You would think the heart chakra would be red. I know, but it's not. It's green. And next week, we'll be discussing the other 3 chakras that are left, which actually there's probably tons and tons of chakras, but these are the big key ones. So today we're going to start with the solar plexus chakra, the yellow chakra. It's yellow. This is how you'll remember it. It's yellow. It's the 3rd chakra. So what is that? What does it represent? So often the solar plexus represents in your stomach area power. Okay. It is, and I'll talk about what it's like to have a balanced one, but let's talk about some of the things that can happen if it's not in balance. You might feel oversensitive. You're too open to others' thoughts, too open to what other people think. As James always says, what somebody else thinks is none of your business. You could pick up feelings of negativeness. Got to watch that. It's vulnerability. This is all the solar plexus chakra that I'm talking about.
If it's unbalanced, correct?
It's if you're unbalanced, yes. It's lack of self-worth. That's a big one for so many people, and especially during this virus. It's going to knock everybody. They're not going to know where their power is, how they feel. They might have low self-esteem during this period because they may have lost their job. They, may not know what to do. It's also lack of personal boundaries. So people that allow other people to take advantage of you, think like that. Power issues, anybody who's, either had too much power over you or you've allowed people to have power over you. It's emotional neediness. So this, again, if this isn't balanced, this is what comes through. Emotional neediness. And here's another one, conditional love. So we always say in the heart chakra, which we'll get to, is unconditional love. But in the 3rd chakra, you're worried about, conditional love. Will I be loved? There's also aggression and anger in that, like the 2nd chakra too. It's in trauma from mental and physical abuse would be in this 3rd chakra. 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, but really this 3rd chakra is where it hits it because it's somebody taking your power. So whenever I work with a client that has had these kind of issues, I'm always struggling with them or help them get strong in who they are. Know thyself. Get really strong in your solar plexus area. So what does it look like if it's balanced? If it's balanced, you look confident, you look motivated, you have purpose in your life, you're reliable, and you're responsible. And that is what it's going to look like. It connects to the lower mental body, subtle body. So that would be the 3rd subtle body away from your physical body. So there's physical body, then there's the etheric body, then the emotional body, then the lower mental body. And that lower mental body that's connected to the solar plexus receives and stores and transmits all of our thought patterns, all of our mental processes. So our thoughts extend way after our physical body through all the other bodies to the mental body. And it goes out, extends as energy. And so our realities are so very important. Our realities of what we think, to choose, our thoughts that dwell in our mind. The reason they're so important is because it goes way out. So you have to start thinking about how you're thinking. Is it conscious or are you unconscious? You want to be so conscious because those thoughts go way, way out. Right? So, and here's what happens when those thoughts go way, way out. It also brings imbalance. It brings fatigue. What a surprise. You can have eating issues, overeating. It can bring overweight. It can bring stomach issues, for sure. Stomach issues would occur. Trouble making decisions. It's a big one. And control issues of, again, either trying to control somebody or somebody's trying to control you. Okay. So how do we heal this? How do we heal this 3rd chakra that's connected to the lower mental body chakra or subtle body? So you want to begin on with, therapy would be good. Something where you are healing your past wounds. Really allow yourself to start looking at your wounds. Okay, it's very important. Um, wear yellow. Yellow is important because yellow represents the third chakra. Think of it like the sun. Bring that energy in. Meditation on the third chakra helps. Yoga helps. All of these things help, but really looking at your original wounds or your wounds, this and releasing, healing and releasing as much as you can is going to help open this up. There are some great positive affirmations for this chakra, and I'm just going to give you two, which I thought were really great, really terrific. I forgive myself for past mistakes, and I learn from them. I forgive myself for past mistakes and I learn from them. It's a good one. And another one is I have the courage now to create positive change in my life. I have the courage now to create positive change in my life. I put the word now in there because now is the moment we have. It's our present moment. And we need courage now. You can do it because we have hope and faith, and this is a time for renewal. So, this is the third chakra. So, as we go up the spine of all of the chakras, after the third, so these are called the lower body, the first, second, and third chakra, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus. Those are considered the lower body chakras. The heart is where they connect. They connect in the heart. So the heart chakra, as I said, it's not red, it's green. So isn't that funny? Green is used for healing also. Whenever I see an aura around somebody, and it's green like this, I always know that they're very heart centered, depending on what the color green is. Like this is a really good color green. If it's kind of a dirty color green, I know they might be sick. So I look at auras constantly. Oh, good, John. John just put up something here, which is great. Yeah. Oh, this is perfect if you can see this at home. It's got all the colors of the chakras and where they're located. So right now we've moved up to the fourth chakra. The fourth chakra is green, as I said, and it's the central balance point. It's where there's the meeting between the lower and the upper. Everything in order to get up to the upper has to be grounded in the heart. The heart chakra is everything, and that's connected to the higher mental body. So let's start with what the heart chakra is. The best thing for the heart chakra is consciousness, and it really means true unconditional love. It means acceptance of yourself, really. Acceptance of others, acceptance of yourself, just flat out acceptance. And it means to connect and connection and trust in the universe, that there's a bigger plan, that the universe is surrounded with love and all kinds of help. So it unites the personality, this is the heart chakra, and it integrates the physical and the spiritual aspects of ourselves. So the physical being the lower and the spiritual being the higher, and it integrates that. Okay. It's love without any conditions. It's compassion. It's peace. And it's brotherhood. And it's connected to the higher mental body. Oh, before I get into that, let me just say this. The issues of the heart chakra when it's closed or it's really shrunk, sometimes when I look at people's auras, the heart chakra is just so tiny. You think, why is that? What happened? And it's loneliness, it's fear of being hurt, it's isolation. Now think, we're all isolated right now. So the heart chakras, it's really important that you love yourself. This is the time to love yourself because I don't want to see later on all these. I'd love a world where after this is all over, and there'll be a time when everything has changed, but there'll be a better time coming. And when that happens, I'd love to look at everybody's chakra and say, wow, you did a lot of work while you were in isolation. Go you. You went inward for those 40 days, that Jesus went to the mountain, or you did it. Good for you. I can see. It's when somebody doesn't have they have a lack of the trust that there is a universe, they're feeling unloved. People that are feeling unloved, it's somebody that, so again, if the heart chakra is really not doing well, it's somebody that's overcritical, over jealous, over possessive. All of these things shrink that heart chakra. It's no way to live, frankly. And it's somebody who's has a hard time with indecision again. So the bridge, the fourth subtle body out is called the higher mental body, and that's connected to the fourth chakra. Here we go. And it's the bridge from the physical to the spiritual realms. So when we maintain an open heart chakra, which is really through love, compassion for ourselves, compassion for everything that we have gone through, guess what happens? This light pours in. The light pours in. You receive all this light. It gives you information. It gives you inspiration into the soul, as James always said to me. It gives you inspiration. And the inspiration from the soul comes through this higher mental body that is out. It's a layer of energy, and this acts as a filter for past life information and karmic patterns. Isn't that interesting? And the reason all this is happening is to bring you into a state of consciousness. So you wake up. So wait a minute, I have to be conscious here. I can't get angry at that person. I have to stop this. I have to really hear what somebody is saying, calm down, and let go of any expectation of anything, and really just center yourself in love, that soul, or whatever, whoever's soul, is coming from a place of their own traumas and wounds, and everybody is here. And what's going to happen is, during this period of time, we're going to have choices to make. Choices are, we can go in and suffer, or we can actually do some great work on ourselves and treat each other and ourselves with a tremendous amount of compassion. This is why we're here. This is why we incarnate, for compassion for ourselves. So how do we heal this third chakra of the power chakra? It's always through love and compassion, always. And then that opens up our heart chakra. And then next week, we will talk about the fifth, sixth, and seventh chakra, the third eye chakra, or the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra, which John explained briefly. You said to me today, which was great, about the corona means
Crown. Yeah.
Isn't that
Really
interesting?
interesting. Yeah. And I want to mention that we covered the chakras early last year. And you can check out that video on YouTube. I put the link in the comments so you guys can check
Okay.
that out. We'll go into a lot more information in that video as well.
Yeah.
And I also want to mention we did a Instagram series on the chakras as well in January of last year. And you guys can go back and look at spiritual medium Kellee White's Instagram and review all of the chakras and the what happens when they're unbalanced, what happens when they're balanced, the qualities and all of that, the Sanskrit meaning, just different terminology as well about the chakras there, and information about them.
Oh, I think that's a great idea to do. And when the shows that we're doing now, I really like to make sure everybody knows I'm speaking really from a COVID-19 position of,
Right.
why now?
Yeah.
And that's why. So if you look back at the other work that we did on chakras, it will give you exact descriptions of everything you need to know about chakras, and then apply it to where we are now.
Sure. Yeah, because we talk about how to feed the chakras, toning, healing, all that as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, John. You're right. It's got all that information.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of people that are giving some comments. We've got Tami saying that I am drawing today with yellow, orange, and pink. So
That's
great.
so great. Pink's another lovely part of love too. One time I was thinking about my daughter so much, and I don't have it with me right now, but I had my aura taken, and it was all pink. And it was just love. I was just thinking how much I love her, and the whole thing was pink. So drawing today with yellow and orange, that's great. Second and third chakra, great. So Susie says, I'm picking up others' thoughts, causing anger and frustration today. I can imagine that you are. We're still waxing and weaning, if you will, from the full moon. That was
Mhm.
pretty intense. I know it knocked a lot of people out. They slept for days. They weren't feeling well. I know, John, you weren't feeling well yesterday.
No, and interesting enough, Judy's mentioning about kidneys, and that's what I was dealing with yesterday is kidney pain.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you really had a situation
yeah,
yesterday.
I really did.
Yeah. And you're
And
so
it
sensitive, you would pick up everything.
right, and
And
remember I was
kidneys are
sharing with
filters.
right, exactly. What I was sharing with you is that I named it to tamed it,
Yeah.
like, Shirley has talked about, right?
Yeah.
And I said that, "Mom, if you're listening, Spirit, if you're listening, anyone,"
Yes.
and I pretty much spoke out what I was experiencing, and then I was just led to put my hand over it, cup the area of the pain, which was in my flank area, and I laid a certain way, and while I was in excruciating pain, and then I just envisioned healing energy going into the area and causing a vibration that would, loosen or release whatever was causing the
Wow.
extreme pain. And I tell you, within 3 minutes, I felt like this pop in my front and in the back, and then it went away. And this was
Wow.
after dealing with it for hours. So
Wow.
this really was quite amazing. So
That's amazing.
and so I just yeah, it really was. I mean, I could feel the vibration, and then I could feel like this, like almost like a pop thing. Like I could
Wow.
feel when it actually moved.
Oof.
I don't know if it was a kidney stone, if it was a blockage, what it was, but it was causing me extreme pain, and
Wow.
and it, and it cleared up by doing that. So, folks, you can do hands-on healing with yourself, and just
Mhm.
trust the energy source coming through. It
Yeah.
is going to help heal you. And I
I agree.
yeah, it was pretty powerful.
Absolutely. Really, really.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so we got quite a few comments coming in. Let's see. Let's see. So people would like to be part of the mini reads. We're going to do those later in the show. We've got Tami Hendrix coming on. Is going to talk to us
Mhm.
about our animals. She's
Yep.
going to be on very soon. People are saying we have had insomnia for days.
Oh, I can't tell you. Jasmina, what a great name.
Yeah.
Jasmina, what a great, great name. Oh, all the callers, all my people, my clients, all I hear is how nobody has slept, including my own husband has had trouble. It's
Um,
unbelievable. I think it's these energies are so intense. It almost knocks you over with it. If you
yeah.
can go with the flow, you'll be okay, which is we're going to have a show on Monday about change and understanding it, accepting it, and being able to move with it. Because I just want to mention this. So many people, gosh, John, in the last month
Hmm.
kept saying, or maybe 2 months, they kept saying to us, I'm seeing 555 everywhere. Oh, 555 is change. So here we go. So we're going to do a show on that on Monday, which will be interesting. So wait, what? There was another comment here too. I missed
Yeah,
that.
we had someone earlier that was just
Oh,
saying that they are watching for the first time, and they were
oh,
referred
thank
by
you.
James. So they believe that was Elizabeth.
Oh,
So
great,
yeah,
great. Thanks, Elizabeth.
watching on YouTube.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love James as my best friend. So thank you. Thank you. He's great. And totally looking within, right? He's really been going on. Patrice, hey, honey, I love you, Gina. Oh, so sweet. Hi, Patrice. So sweet.
Yeah, we got actually quite a few first timers, so this is
Yay.
great.
Oh, great. Hi, Danette.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling, or thank you for watching, I should
Commenting,
say.
right? Yeah.
Commenting. Yeah, it's nice to know we've got some new people watching. So that's really fun, too.
Oh, and this is interesting. Jean says that she was working with masks or sewing masks today using yellows, reds, and blues.
That is, oh, I got chills with that one because
Yeah,
that is the first, second,
and
and
throat,
fifth
right?
and fifth chakra.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
Uh-huh.
interesting. Well, definitely put blue in it. In fact, those colors are probably the perfect colors. And maybe put some green and make some with green
Oh, yeah, green
for
for heat.
healing. But in
Mhm.
the heart, but for the blues, really, isn't it interesting? Because the
Yeah,
mask is preventing us from
right.
connecting. Really,
Yes.
wow, that was brilliant.
Yes,
I
it is.
love that. I saw the funniest little post today. Somebody sent it to me. It was a matzah cracker with a mask.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Had to say, give the props to that one. Whoever came up with that one. Anyway, so should we have Tammy on now? We
Yeah,
ready? Then
we
we'll do readings
should.
after that.
So let's get our amazing guest coming on. She's been
Okay.
on our show before, and her name is Tami Hendrix, and she has a new group on Facebook that you guys can join, and it's called Soul
Great.
Speak for Animals with Tami Hendrix. Let's welcome Tami. Hey, Tami. Welcome to the
Tami,
show.
Hey,
oh, my
good
heart.
to see
I
you.
love Tami.
It's good
Hi.
to see you and John.
It's
Good to
great
have you
see
back.
you.
Now, I was
Thank you.
mentioning, and we posted this in your group, that you were on the show a while back, and there's a full length video on YouTube where we
Right,
had you on talking about Soul Speak for Animals.
right.
And one of the things that we brought up was, do our animals reflect us? Are they actually mirroring us?
Mhm.
And really, with what's going on right now, please
Well,
fill us
and
in.
what happened is last week we had, I think it was Susie that called
Yeah.
in and said she really wanted to work with the animals and she didn't know how. And I thought it would be a great idea to have you on and to connect with a Facebook or something where people, because I kept seeing, who was it? St. Francis with animals.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and I had a great talk with Tami and she said, "Oh, sign me up. I'm ready to do it." So I was
Right.
so happy. So talk to us about animals during this time.
It's a huge, as with people, it's a huge transition for the animals. And collectively, I feel like they're doing well. Individually in the homes, they can pick up the stresses from their people, and it's kind of like secondhand smoke. Um, and so I think too that this time with everybody kind of cloistered and bumping into each other, they can serve as catalysts as well for whatever, like you were talking about the pink full moon and how it would bring things up to be,
Yeah.
to be healed, for things to surface. I feel like the animals during this time especially are serving that purpose, almost like a catalyst to kind of bring things up to take a look at that's going on in the family, in relationships, and it can be uncomfortable. It can be really uncomfortable and uncomfortable for the animal as well, but they have a kind of a larger scheme of things. I think they're, where they're individual, but also they've got a spiritual side where they know what they're here for. And so I think in general, I've heard from a lot of clients where the animal is exhibiting kind of strange behavior. Maybe they're sleeping more, or maybe they're pacing, or they're making strange noises. And I think a lot of that is simply energy moving through these animals. I know on the property here, mine are starting to howl at a certain time of day, and one will start and then they all join, almost like church bells. And
Oh my
it's
God.
amazing. And I kind of feel like the vibration of their voices, they're clearing things and moving things, and they just do this on their own. There's not a fire, there's not a siren or anything.
Or a moon to howl at.
Yeah, there's nothing to howl at. It's just like,
Wow.
one starts it, and I was like, yeah, everybody sing on key, please. But it is, and they all stop at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was thinking, John, when you were talking about the kidney episode, that you are so tuned in with vibration, with music. And I think that the animals too are so tuned in with vibration that they just channel that right through. I do know too, at this time, along with people, there are a lot of animals who have chosen to leave at this time. And so I know for me, I've had 2 in 2 weeks when one day they're fine and the next day they're gone. And it's really hard to process, because you're like, whoa, wait, what happened? And it can be quite distressing. But I feel like they're definitely in rapid transit. And
Well, something like that to me says that they didn't choose to be here during this time. They had served their goals were met,
right.
and it was
Yeah,
just
they were complete.
yeah. And
Yep.
what happens for me, what I believe, is the people that are here and the animals that are here chose to be here, so their vibration would be able to contain most of this.
Yes, yes. I think the howling, the various
Oh
things
yeah.
they might be doing, paying attention to your animal to see if they're doing anything a little different, or just being really aware of them as well. They're giving a lot of signals for things, but they're also kind of holding down the fort, trying to keep the things balanced. And between the birds and the cats and all the animals everywhere are in concert with what's going on. And it's a big time for them too. I have a friend who wrote, this book was written about her, and I pulled something I'd like to read real briefly that describes how animals interact in our world. But basically, this is a cat that spoke to my friend Sharon. And the cat said, animals not only have their purposes, but also their own perceptions of any event. And they have free will, as humans do, about whether to communicate with another being and whether to agree to another's requests. So there's a whole spiritual depth with animals that people don't even realize is going on. And they may just see the dog or the cat or whatever doing something strange, when if you can sit with your animal. And I like what James has always talked about with the cord of green light from your heart to their heart. And that's how he teaches mediumship too. That's one of the basic things he teaches. Yeah. And so that opens the channel for you to be able to hear what they are saying. You know, people are always like, what's my animal saying? If you are still with them, they communicate sensations and feelings that you'll get. I have another, her name's Rita Reynolds, and she wrote a book called Blessing the Bridge. I've had this for years. But she basically says that she stays very still. Let me see. I continue to ask my dog what she specifically needs from me and stay attentive to the feeling, the sensations that often hold the secrets and the answers.
Oh, wow.
So any of us, all of us have this same ability to do. And I think for now, with us being, closed up and in, it's a great time to really go in depth on that level. And it's not, anybody can do it. All of us have that same, we all have heart.
Yeah.
And, I was going to ask you, Kellee, if you felt like the heart was the voice of the soul.
Yeah. It's the heart is the voice of the soul.
Yeah.
It's where the soul resides.
Right.
Behind the heart. Yeah, it's definitely the thing.
And
Sam says, thank you, Tami, for expressing that animals are also choosing to leave Earth during this time. It helps me come to terms with the rapid decline of my childhood horse. Sam, that's amazing. And what I was saying earlier about this is the time now, and it's interesting, it was your childhood horse, right? So now it's time to be able to release that. And so you grow into your next phase of where you are. So the horses represent all kinds of things. Life energy represents freedom, independence. I'd say, run, honey, run.
Right. And I think we have a window. We always have a window with people and animals, but I think especially now we have a big window, and people don't often realize to take advantage of that. So we can be with each other on a deeper level than we ever have, because at some point this is going to end and we'll all go back to our lives, and we'll, we want to be able to really enjoy this time, and the animals are such an integral part of it.
Right. Mel says, what about people abandoning animals because of the virus? Have you heard, is that going around a lot?
I've been thinking about the shelters and how people are, I don't even know if they're turning their animals in, but there's nobody to come look at the shelters for one. So the animals are literally stuck with no ability to be seen or heard. And isn't that what this too is all about? I feel like that's going on with people abandoning their animals due to stresses, and each day that we all look at the media and we all get, it makes the stresses go higher and higher, and people will do things at a time now that they feel desperate, and that's ratcheting up every day. I can feel it. So yeah, no, I have a strong sense that there are some people that are actually just turning them loose.
It's funny you said that. Yesterday I live on a farm, as you know, and I looked out. I said, and I had my dog Otis out there, and there were 3 I don't know if they were strays. I don't know if they were farm dogs. I've never seen this before. Large
Right.
dog, 100 pounds
Right.
each, running like the wind. And it frightened me. Normally, I would have run out to get them. They were
Right.
moving too fast for me anyway.
Right.
But I thought, wonder what's going on here? Of course, then we had a storm later. It was really wild. What a wild day. But I worry about the animals in the shelter. And
Yeah.
is there anything we can do prayer-wise, or is there anything we can do? Because
Yeah,
if they're
I would
closed,
get
how does
St.
that
Francis
work?
on it. I would totally get St. Francis on it. And
Yeah.
and St. Francis is super busy right now. But
It's okay. He's got a lot of
that is
helpers.
hey, calling the big guns because it's time. I was driving about a month ago and on the highway, mountain goat, and then I saw this big dog following the mountain goat. And I was horrified because of what my head said was gonna, like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, do I need to pull over and handle the situation? And I realized it wasn't mine to handle, but I asked St. Francis to please guide each animal. And I think that's what we can do. Whether you see a turtle crossing the road or you see an animal running, and maybe those dogs were running ahead of the storm. I mean,
Yeah.
sounds like
Now it
sorry,
sounds
on
like it.
purpose.
Yeah.
Definitely send blessings. I mean, I think at some point maybe blessings for the animal, would be good. Like a general blessing of all the animals would be good for us to all hold that energy so that they can feel this love from us. And I think that's what you can also do every day, all day long, anytime you want to do it. Send those blessings.
Yeah.
Send it from that heart chakra to them, because it's kind of like a spray out to them all. And then, just like the dogs howling, it has a certain vibration to it.
Right. So, and in this case, would we imagine or visualize in our heads where the local shelters are, possibly? And then start
Absolutely.
sending
You
energy
totally
to
could.
that? And
Absolutely.
St.
Well, I
Francis
have
on all
some
of
good
those?
news about that, because look at this.
California
California Animal Shelter runs out of
Yeah.
adoptable pets.
Yeah.
So they've
Yeah.
actually ran out. People actually adopted them all.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
So I just want
That
to
is
give
wonderful.
That's
in the midst
amazing,
of the
John.
yeah. Isn't that
Is
awesome?
it that way
wonderful.
everywhere, or is it just that way in
It
California?
says California Animal Shelter runs out. There's a story that goes along with it, but I just wanted to put that up.
What a great
Wow.
example
Yeah.
for the rest of the
That's in
country.
Riverside. It says many flock to animal shelters across the country to adopt or foster as they seek to fill up extra hours amid stay-at-home orders.
Wow.
Demands were so high that it's now empty.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
That's a really positive.
That
thing.
gives
And
me
that's a level of consciousness we need for animals.
Mhm.
right.
So those prayers are
Yeah.
working already.
Yeah, really. I
Right.
mean, I really feel that we're going to see the best of humanity, and
Yes.
then the
Yeah.
other side of it. But
Isn't
so
that
much.
I mean, that is what's happening. We are seeing,
Yeah.
right? We're seeing the light and the dark in this whole situation.
It's unbelievable. Both
We
both
really are.
sides.
Both
Yeah.
sides. Obviously. All right, let's get to our calls. We've got
Okay.
Diane holding from Pennsylvania. Hi, Diane. How are you?
Hi. Sorry. I'm here. How are you guys?
Good. Do you have
Hi.
Oh, good.
How can we help you, Diane?
I think that's really nice about the blessings for the animals. I never heard that, so that's nice. Now, like, say if you have like health problems and everything, like, does that like kind of like mess up your, like your like aura or like your chakras or anything?
Yes, it would. It would. And so you'd want to get, you have to really concentrate. That could be. It depends on where the illness is, but it would
Okay.
it would definitely change the aura. And somebody would, if I were looking at the aura, I would say, okay, you're weak here, you're weak there. Could be in your lung area, could be in your stomach area, could be in the lower part of your body. It depends on where it is. If you tell me where it is that you feel illness.
I just been getting like cold symptoms like here and there, like since December. Like I'll cough and then it goes away, and then it's just like it comes back and forth like with a sore throat, and I just feel like stuffy.
Well, everybody needs to take really good care of themselves right now, period. I mean, and that could be the fifth chakra, which we're going to talk next week, but it's about speaking your truth. But in all, I would say start taking really good care of yourself right now, if that's happening now.
Yeah, immunity
Okay.
boosters. Yeah,
Immunity. Yeah,
a lot of vitamin
absolutely.
C, zinc.
Mhm.
Ginger. I drink hot ginger tea
Okay.
with lemon all day
Mhm.
long. In fact, I have it right here. So
Yeah. But then also
turmeric.
meditate with the color blue as well
Mhm.
if you're having issues with your throat chakra
And or green, even
and
green
green for healing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Blue
for
and green
healing.
would be really
Okay.
good for
Blue
you.
and
Or
green.
turquoise, even
Okay.
better.
And you said zinc.
What was that? Sorry.
And you said zinc. Take some zinc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Zinc for sure.
Vitamin C.
Vitamin C.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks for calling.
immune boosters. Sometimes they have a mixture of that in one supplement. You
Yeah.
know, it's immune.
Okay.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
gonna look into that. Thank you.
Sure. We'll feel
Thank
better,
you.
Diane.
Have a good day, guys.
You too.
Tuning
Bye-bye.
in. Okay. All right. So let's move on to Utica, New York. It looks like I'm not sure the name. Can we have your name, please? You are live on the air with us. Hey, Julie. Good to
How are you, John?
hear your
Hi, Kelly.
voice.
Oh.
Hi, Julie. How can we help you today,
Oh
Julie?
my goodness. Everything is crazy up here in New York State. Oh my goodness. I can't keep up. Any suggestions? Any guidance from the other side?
Yes. Stay still. They're telling me that you're pulling in too much. So stay still. Get real grounded. Do you have a spot where you can walk outside and breathe?
Yeah,
Get-
it's pretty cold. We're getting snow tomorrow. And I'm
And we had the damnedest thing. I had 10 minutes of snow today here on a sunny day.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
confused by this whole weather pattern, whatever's happening. But what I'm getting is for you to get real grounded. Do not take everybody's stuff in, and don't take in everything, and tether yourself literally to Jesus. Tether yourself, okay? To God, to spirit, tether yourself. You have two guides that are holding you really tightly down. In other words, so not so you have to be, you don't have to pick up everybody's fear, okay? And they're telling me something about anger too. So you must be around people that are angry. So you should bring it in, okay? I mean, to yourself. Love yourself, get really calm and grounded. You'll get centered. And get on that root chakra, get that root chakra grounded. All right? We're all going to weather this storm.
so much.
And you mentioned
Thank you
earlier
so
that your
much.
your sister's dog passed at 14 years old on Monday. Is that right?
That
Yes,
was at full
yes.
moon.
He passed away on Monday. Actually, he was passing all weekend, and we were trying to pray that they didn't have to bring him to the vet and have him put down, because they had to literally leave him at the door, and they couldn't be with him. They won't let anyone in any of the vets here, and
Wow.
it didn't work out, and they had to just drop him. It was the most heartbreaking
Oh,
thing.
that's heartbreaking.
Oh.
It's heartbreaking with animals. It's heartbreaking with people. It's heartbreaking.
It is.
It
I
is
mean,
actually.
really heartbreaking. Just you
Mhm.
can hear I could hear my heart crack in that one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Mhm.
I mean, the
Yeah,
trauma
and
that we
today,
experienced from that.
Right.
Yeah. Mm.
and today my cousin lost his battle, 50 years old, 4 years he battled lung cancer, and today he passed on Holy Thursday.
Oh my
Oh.
It's
goodness.
been, people are leaving like one after another, and
Yeah.
it's just constant here, and I can't keep up. I can't keep up.
Right.
I understand exactly what you're saying. I've lost 2 clients with coronavirus, and I'm shocked by the whole thing. I can't keep up either. You just do the best you can and know that they didn't sign up to stay.
Right.
You know, I really believe, James and I've had this conversation many a time now, that the people that are passing now volunteered to leave during this time. It was too much energy for them. And it was to bring, so everybody would have compassion. They'd understand what love is. They'd understand sacrifice.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's lifting the karma of the world. So they had volunteered before they incarnated of this is how, and this is why nobody can say why a healthy person dies from it, or somebody with diabetes, or somebody from the African American community, or somebody from the this or the that. It's because it's a volunteer situation on the other
Mhm.
side before we incarnated. So there's no rhyme or reason to it. And this is why they can't get it. But it's all to teach us, it's all to bring balance to everybody and to teach us love and compassion, which is what we're talking about with this fourth chakra.
Yeah. Thank you so
I'm sorry
much.
for your
Love
loss.
all of you. Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Julie.
She's right. It's hard to keep up with it, isn't it, Tammy?
Yeah,
It's hard
it
to
is.
keep
It's
up
very
with it.
difficult. But I think for the souls that are leaving animal human, it's like there's an energy that they can ride out on. It's the Easter energy. It's the full moon energy. It's the collective virus energy that's kind of paving the way for an easier access point, a portal.
And I want everybody to remember that when people are passing away, although you can't be with them, whether it's your beloved animal, your beloved mother, whatever, I want you to know, everybody to know this. You never die alone. It's actually not possible. There's always a guide with you, a mother, a father, a sibling, an aunt, a husband, a wife. There's somebody in spirit that is there to get you. And by the way, the call goes out even in a suicide situation 6 to 8 weeks before the actual passing. So they are never alone. So I want to give everybody some peace that can't get to that nursing home because you're not allowed to. Because Charlene and I talked about this yesterday, and she was just devastated over what she was seeing. And you're never alone. You're never alone when you pass. It seems like such a cruel thing here, doesn't it? But
several calls holding.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's go.
No worries. We've got someone calling from Illinois. Can we have your name, please? And where in Illinois you're calling from?
Huntley, Sue Cozy.
My cousin Sue. Hi, Sue.
Thanks for holding.
I love Sue. How are you doing, honey?
I'm okay, but this conversation's breaking my heart about the animals. And, I texted you and I said, if you see any strays, I've been praying to God, if there are any strays around, please have them come to my door.
Sue, I said the same prayer this morning. I actually said the same exact prayer this morning. So when Dawn, who's watching, if we get a stray, I've been praying for it.
Be ready for it, Dawn.
What a beautiful offer, though.
Yes.
What a beautiful opening of a heart you have.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you do me a favor and explain the green light from heart to heart?
It's something that is so easy to do because we all have hearts, and you go into your heart space and you imagine this beautiful green light, and it just grows and grows. And let's say your animal is, across from you. You imagine sending that green light from your heart over to them and make the connection with their heart, and watch as it grows. And this now has a really live connection between you, and you can feel it. You can feel once you hit that and you've connected with that other being. It's most beautiful. And really, you can do this on the street with people. You can do this with anybody. It's not something that is just set aside for when you're sitting at home. But when you make that connection and you're with your animal, that gives you, it's kind of like a freeway, an open freeway of connection to the other being, and it allows for information to be sent and received. I've always communicated with the animals. It's through the heart. And they do the same because it's an energy exchange.
Well, I had 2 dogs that passed, and TJ and Max, and I feel them with me.
Oh, absolutely.
They're definitely around, Sue.
Yes. And, ask them to show you things. I've literally had dogs appear, and I've picked them up and put them on the bed, for instance. And then I'm like, oh, whoa. They weren't like, they passed already. But they literally showed themselves to me. And I was in a state to where it was just, okay, putting everybody on the bed, went to their normal space, and then they disappeared. But it was just so beautiful because they're always around. And ask them to show you signs, because just like with people and pennies or things that people spirit shows, the animals do it too. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to know. Thank you, guys. Love you, Kelly.
Love you. Thanks, Sue.
Thank you for calling. You take care. All right, so we've got quite a few calls, and we're almost out of time. So let's get through.
And it's 555 at my time.
Yeah.
It's 55555. How wild! A lot of change coming up, folks.
Oh wow! All right, we've got. Let's see here. Holding. Janine from New York. Hello. Hi, Janine.
Hi, John. Hi, Tami. Hi, Kellee.
Hi, Janine. How can we help you?
Through.
Yay.
Well, I had posted on Tami's Facebook page about my dog
Lily.
who is going to be 15 in September. She's had an awesome life. She's been a wonderful dog, but she's up there, and I just want to know what I can do for her. And Tami said she had lots to say.
Yeah, I saw the picture. I really loved that. That's a great shot of her. She really likes that shot, by the way, because she's very direct. She's there's an awareness to her that is very palpable. And so I would imagine in her life with you that she has been direct in what she's needed, and you've always known that has a really good connection with you, and that you exchange information through the heart. She feels, to me, when you called her, this is my old girl or my old lady or something, I can't remember what she said on there. I don't feel like she feels that way. She doesn't feel old.
Yeah, I know. I don't think she does either, because when it's time for a treat, she gallops a little bit. She can barely walk, but there are moments of like puppyhood coming through.
Yes. She's got a real strong spirit. And so I just get a sense that she's got a lot more, and she's like, I've got a lot more in me yet. So, old, no, like lose the old part. And she likes being told, no, she definitely had a reaction to old. And she also, did you also used to tell her how beautiful she is or was, or that she was really stunning?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yep. She's liking that too. She wants that to continue. But she feels that she has this huge presence, and it's like people notice her, and she's amazing. She does she show you things that she needs? Like, do you know when she needs something?
Oh yeah. Even as a puppy, she never chewed anything. She never went in the house.
Yeah.
She's been amazing since the day we got her.
Yes. She's truly a very old soul, highly aware.
Yes.
I would ask, I'm getting something from her, like she wants you to get a journal and connect with her, just sit and let her share some things with you. She says, I've got things I need to say. So I don't know if you do writing or any kind of journaling, but I would try that with her, because and connect through the heart, like we talked about, the green light, and then ask her what it is that she needs from you. And I have a feeling you're going to get images and sensations and words, and it might open up a whole nother meaning. She says I'm a teacher. She says I'm a teacher.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks.
Really strong energy, really beautiful, inside and out, and knows it and likes to be told that.
Yeah.
And who doesn't?
Thank you so much.
Exactly.
Thanks, Janine.
No, she owns it. Like, she totally owns it.
Yes, thank you for calling, Janine. Great to hear from you. You sound great. You sound like you're doing much better.
Oh my God, my whole life it's like done a 180. I said I hope I'm not going anywhere soon, because I finally connected with a boy who's now a man that I knew since I was like 5 years old, and he is the most gentle, loving person I've ever known.
Oh,
and
that's beautiful.
Amazing.
So you've been doing work on your heart chakra, and you attracted love.
Oh, all the time.
Awesome.
It's been for years, and it's paid off.
That's awesome.
Great story.
We love to hear those positive stories. Thank you.
Truly.
Yeah,
definitely.
You take care of yourself. Thank you, and keep in touch with us.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. So we only have 1 minute left, and we do have other calls holding. I don't know if we're going to go into overtime, if we have time, Kel, or
you want to do one more call, Tami?
Sure.
All right.
One more.
Good. All right. So just give me a number from 1 to 5.
Tami, you go.
4.
Okay. So then that's a lower number. So we've got Lori from Alabama on the line. Is that correct?
That's correct. Hi, John.
Hey,
Hi,
Lori.
Kelly, Tami.
Hi, Lori. How are you today?
I'm good, and yourself?
Good. How
Making
can
the
we
best
help
of
you?
it.
I have yes. I have a question for Tami.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you if you pick up on any energies from any of my animals, past or present. I'm certainly picking up on them, and I just wondered if you can pick up on any of those vibrations.
Have you had several pass?
Yes.
Yeah, it feels like you kind of got a crowd around you, like a group hug. Definitely.
And I heard the word shelter. So are they shelter dogs?
They were all rescue babies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It feels strongly like they are around you, supporting at this time, especially. Very, very present.
Lovely.
Yeah. Are you getting signs and images? Are you getting, how is it you know that you could feel them or know that they're there?
Well, I can't explain how I feel them. I just feel their energy. But I also have a dog, Kiko. She's 4. She's part Aussie, a shepherd, and she'll just be laying here, and we'll be talking about whatever. And she starts looking around, wagging her tail, and I'm like, okay, which one of you is here?
Yes.
And Kiko sees them too. So
yes. Definitely.
So it
she's
so good to know they're here.
Yeah, no, and she's almost like a channel for them that they can come around and through, and she's extremely aware of them and can, like you said, wag the tail, and that's beautiful. And it's absolutely, she's part of the team, even though she's here physically. She's part of the team that have come to be with you.
Absolutely. I was hoping you'd say that because that's what I've been feeling. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
Hey, God bless you guys.
You too.
Thank you too.
Thank you. All right, let's see. We have got just a couple minutes just to mention that Tami has her group, which I said at the beginning, right?
Yes. How do they get to Tami's group?
Up on the screen here. So if you see here, you got Tami's page. So you go to Tami Hendrix, and then you click on Visit Group. So right here on this big button, right? You hit Visit Group. It will take you into this group where you request your membership. So it's a free group. And Tami, are you also doing sessions as well?
You know, I feel like it's a good support group, good guidance. People can pose questions. I can chime in and help where I can. If it's something in depth, we would probably need to do a full session, but I'm happy to help. And if you're grieving the loss of an animal, please post and share, because it's we all need help during this time, especially the animals. And I do feel like the animals are gathering together energetically for that very reason. So yes, and any of the people who had animal questions and couldn't get on the call here, you could post there and I'll address that. I'll answer you.
And Tami, do you think, I love that site, Tami. I'm going to join today. I'm so excited that you did that. Is this a thing that people can, or you maybe, or somebody would be doing maybe a meditation for the animals, or a meditation that you could sit your animal with, either one who's passed or the one that is have? And
yes, I've been thinking about that because we need to collectively, yes, gather in that way. Yes.
With St. Francis.
Yes, St. Francis is the guy. He's
the guy. He really is. That's fabulous.
Well, great. So folks, go to her Facebook page, Tami Hendrix, and then click on Visit Group and join her group. You also have the website, TamiHendrix.com, correct? And that's still speak for all kinds of things, not just for animals, but you also do sessions for folks as well. So,
right, absolutely.
So Tami's multi-talented, multi-gifted. So
really gifted.
check her out. And also want to mention that on Monday, we are going to be back with Dr. Shirley, and we are going to be talking about changes and how to adapt to all these changes, right, that are happening
During this
during the
COVID-19.
pandemic.
How does change affect you? What does change mean? How does it
Yeah.
look going forward? How do you accept change? And again, all these people that we're saying in the last several weeks and months, Kellee, I keep seeing 555. Isn't that funny? It meant change, and here we are. So how do people deal with? How are you dealing with change? That's what I want to know. That's what we're going to talk. Everybody can call in and tell us how they are dealing with their new change, how they find them where they are now in the world.
Yeah, and I also want to mention, folks, to go check out our YouTube. There's actually a lot of viewers watching from YouTube right now.
Yay!
So I'm finally
YouTube.
who's watching
YouTubers.
So that's great. And just want to mention that you can check out our YouTube archive because we have over 100 shows there, and a lot dealing with like curveball, and this is a big curveball to all of our lives, just a lot of shows that we've done in the past on a lot of these topics. And Tammy's show is there as well when we got really sure with Dr. Shirley and talked more about our animals and just how they mirror our behavior and really act as our guides in many ways.
Definitely.
So it's pretty awesome. So check those out, and thanks everyone for joining us. We will see you.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, John.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody.
Pleasure having you back, Tammy, and we'll do it again soon. But
stay on the line, Tammy, before.
Stay on when we disconnect so we can talk after. And I'm going to disconnect the phone line. But everyone,
bye, everybody.
Take care of yourself. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
We will see you next week. All righty. That will be Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time here on Both Sides Now TV, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo Dr. Shirley and Kellee White. Two perspectives, one world.